Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a pretty brief review of the finale for Attack on Titan. This is the final chapter, special number 2 that aired today. So, actually, I went ahead and I watched both the first part and part 1 and 2 of the final chapters. Those two specials. So, combined that adds up to like about 2.5 hours of Attack on Titan, which really leads us off to. So let's talk about some of the things that this anime. First of all, I can't believe I started watching this in 2013. It is now 2023, so 10 years of waiting for this story to finish because I never went to read the manga. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I do want to also address the way that season 4, the final season, was broken up in very weird ways, right? We got like part 1, 2, and 3 of some chapters, and then it got broken up into part 1 and 2 of these last chapters. So it was all kind of a mess. But if you go on CrunchyRoll, you could just watch it in order. There's also some OADs that you can watch, which is like season 5 on CrunchyRoll. But those are just little chapters that are intertwined between the stories, like little filler stories. But I think they're still pretty interesting if you want more of this world. Uh, the last thing I'll touch on before actually getting into the actual final chapters, boy, Crunchyroll was having a time because although I never fully disconnected, there were a few times where um, I think and I don't think it was my internet because I was streaming other things just fine prior to, but yeah, the quality dropped a couple of times. There was some small pauses, maybe 2 or 3 times during the whole hour and a half. So while I was watching the first part, that was fine, and I watched that dubbed, because that part is out dubbed. The final chapter is only out subtitles. So when I was watching that first part, that was fine. That was it was like hours before the finale even aired. I started a little bit late from when it aired because I knew that there was going to be like capacity issues. I was just, it is anime. It happens all the time, whether it's Crunchyroll not being able to handle the capacity or them kind of throttling back on purpose to kind of like build up the hype, so whatever theory you subscribe to. But yeah, overall, no major issues watching it. And it was quite enjoyable. I think it was very well paced. I think there was enough content to really satisfy with the story and kind of answer all the questions, which I'm not 100% sure that I fully understand everything that happened. I think this is going to be something fun. I'll definitely do a rewatch of the last two parts. Once this last part is out dubbed, I'll probably rewatch it again. One of the reasons I mainly watch dubbed anime is because I like focusing on all the detail and the animation and everything. So when you have to split your attention with reading and then understanding everything, of course, that's a little bit different. Um, so yeah, that'll be fun to revisit. I think this is going to be an anime that I might revisit the whole thing. It's overall, it's not that much. What is it, like 80 chapters plus these 2.5 hours? So like 90. I guess it is a lot, but still, I think well worth your time to do a revisit on this. Now let's really dig down on just the final part. I'll guess the final two parts. I'll put them together. I want to say the animation overall very cool. Like I think it's always been at a really high level. That was one of the things that attracted me to this anime, and these last two parts did not disappoint. Well worth the wait, well worth the time to allow these creators and all these animators and everyone working on these productions to like take the time to make the product look as good as they can. We had some really cool fights. We had some really interesting conversations. The voice acting, both in the dub and the subs, uh, fantastic. Like they really emoted. There was a lot of emotion that was coming in with these last few chapters, and I think it was conveyed very well by the team. Um, I think some of the, and this is not really something that happened just in the last two episodes. Some of the character designs are a little goofy. I think, especially that big Titan, the attack Titan, if you will. That one, I feel like that one's a little goofy. There are some things that they kind of rushed through as far as like, because we didn't really need an explanation, so they kind of just like, we're already on board here. Um, but I think overall, I would say 85, 90% very satisfactory story. There was a few moments that I was like, well, I could have told you that was kind of going to happen, or like I knew somebody was kind of, like when people kind of show up and stuff like that, like all those things. I think the show had been doing a pretty good job at laying down the foundation of what would be happening at the end. But I did not. So the last 30 minutes of the special, the final one, I didn't know what they were going to do. I really had no idea. And the fun part about this is that you get story all the way through, like through the credits. There's a little after credits thing. Like the story doesn't stop when you see that the end title card. It keeps going, and it's just very, very high level world building, but it's still really interesting. I will tell you this, as Attack on Titan has told, like, led us all the way. For the most part, a lot of it is pretty bleak. There are some spurts of like happiness and nice moments, but overall, I mean, and that's kind of what I expect. This anime started off with one of the bleakest episodes I've ever seen, and that's kind of what got me on board. So I think I'm glad that they stayed consistent to like having those gut punches intertwined with like some of these really nice payoffs and nice character send-offs and character arcs that really fully evolved. Um, I one of the things that I'm really gonna enjoy, I think, over the rewatch is seeing the evolution of a lot of these characters. There's a lot of growth. I think specifically our three main characters, Aaron, Armin, and Mikasa, like they have really interesting arcs that twist and turn and kind of go all over the place. Also, everyone else that we meet that joins that first scout team from season one, we've been with those characters for so long that I'm just glad that we ended up having some really nice things to pay off for some of these characters. And like I said, some of them just ended up with an emotional gut punch. I won't go into any specifics because I want you guys to experience this, but I really wanted to do a video. I don't know what else kind of coverage I'm gonna do for this. What I'm thinking is maybe do a little bit of a watch along of the last two parts, maybe break it up into the chapters. They are broken up very neatly into like 25 to 30-minute chapters each one, which is really like it's really interesting that they wouldn't just release this as different anime episodes. I think I'm glad they didn't, because I think the emotional payoff really it just hits a lot better. Like going into this and seeing that it was going to be an hour and a half of this last final part, I was very excited because that told me that we're gonna get a lot of things happening, a lot of story, a lot of payoffs, and just a lot of that lovely, lovely animation, the beautiful action, big explosions. Like the conflict, um, up until the end, like the themes that this anime started with of like conflict between people, whether it's like because of their differences, like that remain all throughout the full run, which I think it's very interesting that they were able to keep that going. There's definitely a lot of commentary about the world and like conflict and wars and stuff like that. But overall, like it's just a really entertaining, while very bleak, very entertaining drama. So I am very excited and I'm very happy to have completed this journey. Like I said, I think this is something that I'll definitely revisit. I'll definitely recommend. Um, and this is probably pretty high up in my list of like anime. Like it's not as high as something like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but I think you could make an argument, and I would not be like, oh, you're completely wrong. So I could see this being a lot of people's just favorite anime, even as dark and twisted and bleak as it is. But what what a freaking journey! What a journey! So yeah, as I mentioned, make sure to stay all the way till the end of the credits. And when Crunchyroll tells you we're about to hop on to the next thing, like don't just swipe away from that. uh and then, well, like I said, I want to rewatch this in the dub for multiple reasons, right? First of all, I want to make sure that there are no bandwidth issues. I want to make sure that I get to see all the cool animation, all the fights, all the conflicts, explosions, like um, all the conversations, to make sure that when you're reading, I think there's a difference between when you're listening as well. Like I think those inputs compute sometimes differently in your head because you're trying to do a few different things. I think listening is different than reading, even if you're listening, like, even if it's being spoken at you, it's a different language. So I'm very excited to check out the dub. Hopefully that won't take too long. Normally these take about 2 weeks for a lot of these, but this is a longer thing, so we'll see what happens. But either way, very excited to have completed this journey. As I mentioned at the beginning, I can't believe it's been since 2013. And here we are. There were moments where I didn't even think we were going to get an ending to this, right? When we had that really long break in between seasons, and there was a lot of things that kind of happened in the back ends, back workings of the production. So cool. So without spoiling anything for anybody, let me know what you thought about this finale of Attack on Titan down in the comments. Let me know where it ranks amongst some of your top anime. I think if you leave some list in the comments, I think that'd be really cool. And yeah, now I gotta find something else to watch. There's a few things that I'm watching this season, including, of course, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family, and I'm just kind of looking for more stuff. I think I'm gonna start Freren. It's the fantasy anime that just kind of started, and then Hulu also has Undead Unlucky and Eminence of the Eminence, the one that was from High Dive. So yeah, very excited to check out more anime. Also, Blue Samurai, I think, just premiered on Netflix, which is another different animation thing that I want to check out. So plenty of animation stuff, plenty of anime, all to go around. So let me know what you're watching down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, and as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Bye bye.